Certainly with Wagyus especially, but I believe all cattle, but certainly with Wagyus, it's about consistency. My name's Paul Christensen. We're here at Hillview, a little property of ours near the Bun. Got a 1,000 SCU feedlot here, and it's mainly a backgrounding operation. We breed and grow and fatten and buy and sell our Wagyu cattle. Yeah, there's myself and my wife Kelly, and I've got 2 daughters, Taylor and Tori. So Taylor's 24 in Roma, works in there, and then I've got Tori, she's in Darwin, she's up there. And 1998 we got a couple of bulls off Simon Coates, and I actually did a bit of work experience and that with Simon, and that was sort of my start into the breed. And yeah, certainly fell in love with them from there. Very passionate about them, and they've got 7 or 8 really good traits and probably 1 or 2 bad traits, so that trumps every time, in my opinion, as far as fertility and longevity and durability and maintenance levels and temperament, and probably they just lack a little bit of growth and milk. So, but that, which you get the balance right, like anything in life. If you can get that balance right, it's really good, Many ups and downs like everyone and everything, but yeah, we've got a real passion for them, and certainly wouldn't have anything else nowadays. As a kid, I'd go out to the Christensen family, which is still now family property of my uncle and cousins at Auburn, and he probably helped me along, like Tony Hare actually helped me majorly along as far as horses go and getting started with them. And probably a bittersweet story with the stock horses, I suppose, in a way, because Mum and Dad were good and they tried to take us wherever they could as far as camp drafts and that go, and then later on Dad decided bugger it, he'll have a go himself. Bought a horse out of Dalby stock horse sale, big gelding. Anyway, he must have got him home and took him for a ride, and we'll never know but what happened, but we found him, Mum found him 4 or 5 hours later, knocked out. Anyway, he had a brain injury, so that he spent about 3 or 4 months in the PA hospital, and yeah, one thing led to another, and then about 5 years later he was gone. Yeah, I say to my mates all the time that that have still got their dad around, make sure you cherish it, because it's not going to be there forever. And probably the biggest mentor in my life, 100%, had definitely been my father. God rest his soul. Like, to be gone so young, it probably meant I had 2 options to shape up or ship out, and that was one of his many sayings. And I'd like to think that I've done that and had a bit of a go. And married Kelly, who was a rodeo girl and won a barrel racing title and that, and then tried my hand at bull riding and bronc riding for a bit, and sort of camp drafted as a kid. She hadn't, but she got into it as well and loved it, and then the girls both got into it and loved it. And yeah, it's a good family sport, and they are a tool at home, but you get passionate about it and you love them, and especially certain ones. And you can have a horse you bred or done something, broke in or whatever yourself, and it doesn't have to be one of your children, but it can be a backpacker or someone even do a job on that horse with the mob of cattle that they wouldn't have been able to do on a motorbike or even on a lesser quality horse. Like a decent horse just like a decent dog can make an average ringer above average, can't they? Got a lot of mates that are, well, they're putting embryos in horses. I'm doing it with Wagyu cattle. I'd probably prefer it that way. I don't care what anyone says, everything in life is balance, isn't it? You know, right and wrong, good and bad, debt and equity ratio, everything is balance. Everything in life is balance. The Patz has been a game changer for us as far as consistency, which is number one. That's the key, you know. Because we feed such a high roughage ration, there's a lot of straw and a lot of silage and a lot of roughage that goes into our mixes, especially our backgrounding mixes. To me, that's very important because it's the silage and the hay and straw that we produce ourselves. You know, we pretty much buy most all of our grain in, but we try and grow all our own silage and hay. And I know that nutrition is everything. And look, if you could grow a crop of oats every year, or oats in the winter and leucaena in the summer, it'd be great. But you just cannot. We've got to take the good with the bad, especially in Australia, but especially in the rural sector. There's no other option, is there? We've got to take the good with the bad. So I will say that, you know, genetics is nothing without nutrition. I relate it back to horses. That's the easiest way. It's like probably two of the greatest sires forever in Australia, Acres Destiny and Conman. They have an impact. They're so dominant that they can stamp 50% into a foal, and whereas most cases are the mare or the female lines, whether it's mares, people, cattle, female lines are more important and responsible for at least 60 to 70%, in my opinion, you know. Or when I say about Acres and Conman, I mean I'll go and get a horse by Acres or by Conman. It doesn't mean I'm going to win, but geez, I increase my chances. So that's the same, and that's the best way I can explain genetics in the Wagyu world. It doesn't mean you're going to get the result, but you just increase your chances. Yeah, so for the future, more of the same. We're excited about being able to put more 400-day fed long-term stuff through our little operation. Forever just trying to improve. We just built a shed over grain cracking area and where the Patz and New Holland sit. So it's in the shade, out of the elements, ready to go for the next mix, whether it be AM or PM feed. Like, we are just in the process now of a pretty impressive shade system to go over the existing pens, which will be a full roofing system, not a shade cloth system. So we're pretty excited about that. Down the track, we'd like to, it's a goal, and that will happen, that we'll get some under roof, at least for the last 70, 80 days of their time. No point not being excited about the future of the wag industry because of the growth in it. Massive growth in the last 5+ years, really, and I'm very like I say, interested and excited to see where that goes. Too high on the jeans, cowboy.
You're on video.
Steady on.
Cowboy waist coming.